Lifestyle.
Let's talk about entrepreneurship with our first guest. Now, it's become a trend, or perhaps even a necessity, to be an entrepreneur. But the question is, how? So Tony Logan has some easy-to-follow tips for how you can get your business started. How are you?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Good. Okay, so you work with entrepreneurs and small business owners daily. So
Yes.
what are some of the challenges that they face?
I think the challenges is really just trying to figure out what the first step is. Trying to figure out, it's just one plan that just works for everybody, and it's not like that in reality. I think everything is different depending on your situation, what type of business you want to launch, and so different factors that you got to determine before you make that step.
So what are some of those first steps?
I think the first step just depends, on where you at. But I think the first step is definitely creating a budget and a goal.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be written in stone. Just having something in mind, that this is what I need to survive. And then, so whatever you're making currently at your job, you can kind of estimate and see how much you need. And then just learning how to fail, failing fast, making mistakes early on, just to help you, I think that helps. If you are don't have kids yet, you have more risks you can do. If you're not married yet, you may have more risks. It depends on what situation, determines like how much risk you're able to take on. So I would definitely, those two are important, your budget and how much I can risk.
So we had some of those tips that you were just talking about up on the screen, but how important is that? Do you think that people don't think enough about the risk and maybe even the financial failure that they could have?
Absolutely. I think it's something that they don't realize until it happens, because again, you can have a plan, but it's not written in stone, but at least this is how much I need to make. And I definitely made that mistake. So I'm speaking from experience. When I left my 9-to-5, I didn't even know how much I needed to make in order to, take on jobs. How much do I charge? How much do I need, for bills and everything like that? So I learned the hard way. And so I think that's an important tip. Just to keep in mind what number to start off with. Doesn't mean you're going to stick with that number forever, but at least this is what I need,
So now that you've made your mistakes, how do you kind of give that knowledge to the entrepreneurs that you come in contact with?
I would tell them, definitely be open, because, it's not the mentality that once you build it, they will come. It doesn't happen like that in reality. Don't let social media and that perception fool you. It takes time. It takes years. This is my second year being a full-on freelance, and I have many jobs, but, it didn't happen overnight. It took me a while to even break even, and just to pay the basic bills, So I would tell people, take time. Don't be so hard on yourself, and don't get, misconstrued, with social media.
Well, what is one of the biggest misconceptions from being an entrepreneur or freelancer?
I think the biggest misconception is that it's easy, and that, once you leave your job, everything is good. I can go to the cafe, at 10 o'clock and just hang out, and, clients are going to be pouring in. It doesn't work like that. You got to put in work, and so that means that, you don't have that much free time that you may think you have, because, once you stop getting that check every 2 weeks, you got to figure out, okay, so the game clock is on, I got to start making moves.
Right. And you have an event coming up, right? So tell us all about it. Give us the details.
Absolutely. So we have an event at Pivot Co-working Space in Catonsville, Maryland. And so this is the event where we bring in entrepreneurs and creatives just to come together to have conversation, to talk about that, what does it mean to take the first step? Just give me some tips and guidelines just to kind of help, because I feel like creatives need conversation. Sometimes we leave our 9-to-5, we leave a network of people that we work with, and so we don't no longer have that connection. So just kind of want to bring it back to the basics of people coming together, having a conversation, and just, providing some tips.
All right, so that event is tonight. What do you hope that the people who attend can walk away with?
I hope they can walk away with just, a better sense of what it means taking that step, being an entrepreneur and freelancer, and what those challenges are. Doesn't mean you may face these challenges, but at least you can have an idea, this is what can happen once I leave my job. And so that connection and the challenges.
All right, Tony, so all of the information right there on the bottom of our screen. And so just tell people again, it's tonight, what time, and where is it?
Doors open at 5. It's from 6 to 8 o'clock at Catonsville Pivot Co-working Space.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, hopefully our viewers can get something from it. And you can too, because it seems like it's fulfilling for you.
Yes, absolutely. A lot of nights, a lot of work, a lot of cups of coffee, but I enjoy it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I love, this is what I love doing.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here with us and telling us all about it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.